Now, broadcasting from deep within your stepmom's basement, it's the Plex podcast.
So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Bistro fraternity guy, you got my asshole bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to decide to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, was so impressed. Lots of chicks in a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planets. Oh, I just can't understand it. Conquer divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fits. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. She rolls in the pool, let it cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you alive, castrated and gagged. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom Bone's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The fundamental conquer divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, so let the bloody spill quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Plex. We do the show live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific right here on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. Support this project by heading on over to echoplexmedia.com. Click the support link at the very top of the website and you can find your favorite way to support this project. And obviously, if you don't have any money to give me or are just like, why would I give that guy money? I don't know. You can tell your friend about the show and maybe your friend will give me $5. Anyway, I'm producer Dave. You can find me on Blue Sky at Plex-Dave, and if you're in the right zip code, you can find me on Grindr, and this is what the people want.
I don't hate the cops. There's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Oh, when the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Don't hate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch if you don't stop throwing your rocks. Snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Don't hate the cops. like your local police. Cause they don't do nothing wrong like your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fairest judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if you die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Well, it might have worked out a little bit better if you didn't hate the cops. Cause they don't do nothing wrong, don't hate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job, don't hate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder, how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks? Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops.
All right, so sometimes I find a story and I'm not sure where to put it, and I put it first. So this Representative Cuellar and his wife were convicted of federal bribery charges. And I think that it's pretty reasonable to suggest that they took bribes. But the President Donald Trump, has decided to pardon them. And here's Hakeem Jeffries, I guess, saying that's good. I don't know, probably because they're Democrats, and it's, oh, I don't know. This is all dumb. New York, you could do better than this guy. You could do like a lot better than this guy.
This is Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar and his wife were charged with bribery. What's your response?
Well, Congressman Cuellar is a beloved member of the House of Representatives, loved in his community, particularly in Laredo. I've had the opportunity to spend time with him down in Laredo in South Texas. I look forward to that moving forward. Listen, the reality is this indictment was very thin to begin with, in my view. The charges were eventually going to be dismissed.
Oh, wait, he wasn't convicted. He was charged and indicted by the feds? I'm sorry, I didn't follow this case that closely. If you get indicted by the feds, that's as good as a conviction. They got some fucking 99% fucking conviction rate. Get the whole fuck out of here.
If not at the trial court level by the Supreme Court, as they've repeatedly done in instances just like this.
So just to follow up on that, do you agree with the president's pardon here? Do you think that was a good thing then?
I don't know why the president decided to do this. I think the outcome was exactly the right outcome.
Well,
I don't know, man. I think the dude took bribes, dude. I guess bribery is okay now. What's the name of that guy? Fucking Tom Holman or whatever. That guy that just like took 50 grand in a fucking brown paper bag from the FBI and is like, I don't know. I guess people just always give me a paper bag full of $50,000. I guess bribery is good now. I think the reason I put this first is because I didn't want to get like into some other stuff. I think we need to get rid of the presidential pardon and the government pardon and shit. I think it's really fucking dumb. That if the president or the governor or whatever decides that you're a special boy or girl or a special NB pal or anybody, special person, friend of theirs, that they can just be like, everybody gets a mulligan. Because no, everybody doesn't get a mulligan. You shouldn't just because you're like friends with the fucking president or the governor, depending on your charges or federal or state, like you shouldn't just be able to get away with it because the fucking president or the governor says so. This is dumb as fuck. Do other countries do that? I don't think other countries do that. I have a feeling other countries don't do that. I mean, there's totally corrupt regimes and shit where like the president, and no matter where you're at, I guess power means that you can get away with shit. But this is just like with the stroke of a pen, the president's like, I know you're in prison for fucking, capital murder. But since there were federal charges, I know you're not. It's like, dude, no. So fucking dumb. Okay, so somebody in chat said you could have stopped with, I think that we should just get rid of the president. Anyway, we're gonna move on now. We have I guess ICE is just, I guess they just arrest U.S. citizens now. I mean, we know that, but here's wait, this is that guy I was talking about that claims that taking that money wasn't a bribe. Here.
Ascertain someone's identity. You have any idea what percentage of people you're detaining turn out to be American citizens?
Well, first, is ICE arresting U.S. citizens? ICE arrests U.S. citizens every day for trafficking and smuggling and drug distribution and weapons dealing. ICE enforces 400 laws and statutes. So, yeah, ICE do arrest U.S. citizens. Are we targeting U.S. citizens as part of this immigration enforcement? Not unless you are protesters that crossed the line and committed impediment, interference, assault, or, so, to say we're targeting U.S. citizens for immigration enforcement, that's just false accusation. But U.S. citizens are arrested if they violate the law and violate one of the 400 statutes that ICE, enforces.
Dude, I get like the biggest dry drunk vibes off this guy. I don't think he's drinking. I just think he's fucking still drunk off of something off of a fucking 10-year-long bender that he had like 10 years ago or something. What do you mean impediment? Impediment? You mean like getting in the way? Oh, ICE is arresting you all the time. Well, what the fuck are they doing that for? We didn't have this problem before. It wasn't great that we were deporting a bunch of people before, but you didn't hear about a lot of fucking people who were U.S. citizens even having any interaction with ICE prior. Maybe they were hiding it, but at least they had the decency to hide it. Up next, we got Jessica Tarlov on ICE quotas and arrest. Jessica Tarlov, I mean, she's probably not all the way to the leftover where I am or whatever, but she's doing pretty good work over there at Fox, like trying to like talk some sense, not to the other hosts on the 5, but to like maybe the 5 or 6 people in the audience who are willing to listen.
Brian, 82% of people saw that video. 53% think that he should be criminally charged for it. And then the Wall Street Journal comes out and they're reporting that there are incentives for ICE agents because they need to meet that insane 3,000 people a day quota, that they're getting rewarded even if they bring in people who then get released. These stories of Americans being detained saying, show me your papers. There was a veteran, U.S. veteran, who's on a Carnival cruise, being arrested a U.S. veteran on a Carnival cruise with his wife, who was taken out of his cabin, someone who served this country.
What is the percentage?
U.S. citizen. Do not act like ICE isn't making, I don't even know how many mistakes a day in pursuit of Stephen Miller's 3,000 a day quota and getting paid for it. Let's give Greg a chance.
I like how she's kind of unflappable. They try to like talk over her. What's the percentage? And she just like gives them a look and like keeps fucking going. I don't know how she does it. Like, I don't know. I would have lost my job trying to do what she does. They're like, oh, what's the percentage? Well, it should be none. I shouldn't be doing any of this. Like, I don't even know, like, what are they like? I mean, I know what they're doing. They're like intimidating. They're intimidating people. Some of it's because there's a large Somali community in Minneapolis. And I think some of it is just that Tim Walz ran against Donald Trump. I think that there's some of that there too. Like maybe more than some of that there. He had the temerity to run against Donald Trump and fucking JD Vance. Up next, I guess we got now they're just like fucking, now they're just, it doesn't matter what you're driving, even it's a fucking snowplow. I guess they're just going to be like, I don't know, you look Mexican-y to me.
We have staff across, political ideologies. This is not a political thing to them. This is about one of their coworkers, who's been taken.
Public Works Director Sean Kershaw says one of their employees was detained by immigration agents last week.
And he was detained by ICE purely based on his country of origin. He had every federal authorization to be here, which is something we check at the city of St. Paul.
The department is not naming or sharing where he's from, but says the man worked as a snowplow driver in the city. Kershaw maintains he was legally authorized to work in the United States by the federal government and has a valid commercial driver's license. The worker was taken.
Man, I don't know. That's how you piss me off. If I would do very poorly in the snow, and then you start snatching up the people that fucking plow the snow. Oh, that's how you'd piss me off.
To the Whipple building in Minneapolis before being transferred to a detention facility in El Paso, Texas.
Any municipal government, certainly the city of St. Paul, we do a criminal background check. We make sure that everybody has all the legal documents that they need to work in the United States and Minnesota. And in our case in Public Works, they also have to have a valid commercial driver's license. And this employee had all of that legal documentation. He had a valid driver's license, commercial driver's license, and he was, a great employee helping to take care of St. Paul's streets.
Adding to the anxiety of the situation, Kershaw says the man has a serious medical condition that requires strict medication and a specific diet. The Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota and Representative Angie Craig are working to ensure he has what he needs to treat his illness, while the Public Works Department is rallying together to raise money for his wife.
This is somebody who should be here, had every right to be here, was helping to take care of St. Paul's streets, and was illegally detained.
We are still working to learn more information about why this worker was targeted by immigration enforcement. Mary McGuire, Fox 9.
Maybe he flipped him off from the fucking snowplow. I don't know, man. That fucking sucks, though, man. I'm sorry, man. You start fucking with the snowplow drivers up in a place where it snows like crazy. They're just doing all the wrong. I mean, this is all wrong to begin with, but they're doing a lot of shit that's going to piss a lot of people off. But don't worry, this is all very professional law enforcement action. That's what's going on here. All very professional. I wish to one day be as professional. Who do we have here? We have Mr. Bovino, who is everybody's been making fun of him for being short. Now I don't know. We got love for our short kings around here. But this guy also looks like, they draw humans in Ren and Stimpy. That's what this guy looks like.
Earlier today, Brooklyn Park police chief said that his department is receiving endless of calls from American citizens saying that their civil rights are being violated by federal agents. And the police chief also went on to say that some of his off-duty officers are also being asked for their immigration status, and one officer was boxing. That's according to the police chief. I just wondered if you had a response for the Brooklyn Park police chief.
Sure. Again, our Border Patrol agents, ICE officers, and those allied federal law enforcement agencies are out there conducting Title 8 immigration, the Title 8 immigration mission. And I'll tell you, when you have a mayor and a police chief, O'Hara, that say call 911 when ICE or Border Patrol is in the neighborhood, and then they wonder why the 911 system is overwhelmed with superfluous calls for assistance, when that is not true. So we're going to continue to be out in the community, and we're going to continue to conduct that mission, that legal, lawful Title 8 mission. And again, I've been out with my Border Patrol agents. Marcos is out constantly with his troops, and
troops? You just called them troops? All right, dude, whatever.
There is a very professional, prudent, and thoughtful law enforcement action, and if somebody needs to use the 911 system, then do it, but let's don't encourage anarchists to utilize a 911 system.
Oh, that's anarchy is when 911.
That hurts other Americans that may need to use that system. A law enforcement professional should know that.
So he didn't answer the question. He's like, why the fuck? I mean, I know why. They didn't know they were off-duty cops. Probably didn't care. And some, I don't know if you know this. Sometimes the police aren't white. Sometimes the police are not white. So, I mean, fuck the police. The police probably apologized for being in their way or whatever. Apologized to the fucking goon squad for being inconveniencing to them or whatever. But like, this is all amazing. He didn't answer the question. He just didn't answer the question. And the thing at the end about anarchists, like, does this guy ever met an anarchist? They are the most. I have friends who are anarchists or whatever, and either they don't talk about it much or they're like very pedantic. And not like These people think, oh, an anarchist, they just like burn down buildings for fun. No, an anarchist would probably tell you that burning down somebody else's building is wrong, and that instead you should open a soup kitchen. Up next, we got some commentary from Matt Taibbi. This guy, I don't even know who the fuck is on his show with him. There's some old guy or some, I don't know. I guess he's the same age as Matt Taibbi, probably same age as me, like on his show. And he's going to talk about how Martin Luther King Jr. wouldn't like the fucking protests in Minneapolis, and how Martin Luther King Jr. would never, ever bring religion into a fucking social justice movement. Jesus Christ.
And again, yesterday was a national holiday celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. We don't want to do the thing where we say what we think Martin Luther King would have favored or what he wouldn't have.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
But my understanding of nonviolent resistance, when I was growing up, didn't involve guilt by association for sure, or kids, or guilt because of racial identity or anything like that. At the same time,
or bringing religion into it.
That's right. MLK famously, don't talk about God. Like, get the fuck out. I have a dream where no one talks about fucking God anymore. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck? Dude, Reverend Martin Luther King, like, what a dumb fuck. Who's that guy that's on his show? Matt's like, listen, I need to be the smart one. And so they found some dumb guy who's like, oh, Martin Luther King never brought religion into anything. You stupid fucks. Here's a new guy, I guess. Yeah, we found a new guy. This guy's name is, he's a Constitution coach named Rick Green. He would usually probably end up in red light, but here he is, like in the first fucking 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the show. And he says all the protests, they're an insurrection.
A small little thing going on in a little town there in Minnesota. We might touch on that a little bit. Like an actual insurrection. We've thrown that word around a lot since 2021, January 6th, and wrongly used for a long time. Now you're actually trying to prevent law enforcement and the nation from enforcing its laws and fulfilling its duty. Whereas on January 6th, people were asking government to do its job.
By spreading shit on the walls and stealing Nancy Pelosi's laptop. They stole a door. We watched it.
They do what it's called upon to do under the Constitution and under our law. So that was definitely the opposite of an insurrection on January 6th. This is an actual insurrection. This is an actual trying to prevent government from doing what it's been called on to do. Definitely a violation of the Insurrection Act.
The Insurrection Act doesn't work that way. It's not like something you violate. It's a power that unfortunately the president has. The president should not have no such power. Our system is set up to where the president just has too much power, no matter whether or not you like the president. Our system is set up in such a way the president has too much power. Did you know, as always, these are the people protesting. Includes DJ Dub D in the chat and anybody that they may run into at the protest. You are all paid. You're paid agitators, not from the neighborhood. You've come from somewhere else because that's what people do when it's negative fucking 10 degrees Fahrenheit out. Is they're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to somebody else's city and protest.
The people that you're seeing in these in the videos, the vast majority of them, I'm going to tell you, I do not believe are from Minnesota. These are
well, where the fuck are they from, and how are they doing so well in the snow? They were from fucking, dude. If those people were from fucking San Francisco, you'd be watching them all fall down over and over. They'd be just complaining about how cold it is. Dude, you can't even do this. This is bullshit. Listen. I think Minneapolis is a fine city. And if I wanted to go there in the spring or the summer or the fall, I might consider it. But at the end of January?
Organized chaos agents. There are agitators that are paid. The vast majority of Minnesotans that I know that are talking to me, they appreciate the fact that federal law enforcement has arrived, and they are happy they're there picking up rapists, murderers, child sex offenders. I mean, that's the story.
Is that who they're picking up?
That Tim Walz and Keith Ellis.
Is that who that lady is?
These people to walk our streets for years in spite of deportation orders and convictions. And finally, the federal government is doing the job that they've refused to do.
So I'm assuming Minnesota, like any other place, right? Like there's a couple big cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I don't know any other big cities. I'm not a Minnesotaologist, right? But this guy does not represent a city, right? This guy represents like a more rural area. And like, this is also like, what do you mean? Who's talking to you, dude? Like who's talking to you? Like, what do you it's somebody in chat said selection bias, right? Like it's like the same thing as like selection bias for me. I'm not going to really run into too many people like in my day-to-day life, either online or out there in meat space, probably due to where I live, who think ICE is just doing a hunky-dory fantastic job, or who even think ICE should exist. But I don't think that everybody agrees with you just because everybody in fucking the Laurel district of Oakland agrees with me. And this guy like thinks, oh, most people actually agree with what we're doing. And they're bussing people in from, I don't know, Florida, Arizona. Just again, watching how these people handle the conditions, those people are from there. Those people are from there. Up next, Friday's killing by ICE agents. The narrative is they're attempting to manufacture the narrative, but this one's a little, they're having a real tough time with this one. The last one, Renee Good, there were parts of it where you couldn't see because like things were being blocked, and the cell phone footage, you couldn't see the instant where, to me, it appeared like the guy leaned across the fucking hood of the car like an idiot. But to other people, it looked like the car, or they thought the car hit him. Like there was part of that where you could not see what happened very well. This one ain't like that. There's no ambiguity here, but they're going to try to manufacture a fucking narrative anyway.
Does anyone have a question on the storm? We are at FEMA headquarters. The Secretary,
yes.
If these are targeted arrests, why are these immigration agents going after civilian protests out of their way? And second,
this individual impeded the law enforcement officers and attacked them.
No, he didn't. I didn't. No, this is. No, nobody believes this. I'm sorry. Fucking even Tim Pool doesn't believe this. He might get a call from somebody that says he has to believe this, but even Tim Pool and fucking Asmongold, who I can smell right now, even though he's probably not even streaming, he didn't even buy this. Like, think about that. These are the two dumbest toady ass motherfuckers on in the information space, and they're not buying it. Little tiny dancer Ben Shapiro isn't buying it. Like, get out of here.
Facts as they unfolded on the street today. We were doing a targeted operation against an illegal criminal, and this individual came with a weapon and dozens of rounds of ammunition and attacked them.
No, I no.
So agents
homegirl, this isn't going to work. He didn't do anything. Nobody even knew he had a gun until they fucking threw him on the ground because his gun was like holstered like on his back. They didn't know. Nobody knew. You couldn't tell the motherfucker had a gun. He had a concealed carry permit, and he was concealed carrying. As is this right? I don't like America's lax gun laws or whatever. I'm not sure people should be walking around armed, but if they're allowed to, they're allowed to. What the fuck? I thought you motherfuckers loved white people with guns.
Action to defend their lives and to defend the lives of the people around.
Dude, I saw that. Fucking, even if he told them, I'm going to shoot you, which I don't think he did, right? Because he never touched his own gun. They took the gun out of the holster in his belt, like on his back, and then shot him, and somewhere between 5 and 10 times.
According to their training, and we will continue to let this process go forward and not allow people like Governor Walz and Mayor Fry to lie about what actually unfolded on that street. Now,
oh, get out of here! Y'all have seen that fucking. We don't play these. I don't play execution clips. I just don't play them. If they're part of a news story that someone else is covering, they happen to be on there. I don't play clips of civilians being executed on this channel. Not because I don't think you shouldn't see them. It's just that, like, come on, we do a once a week news show. When ICE executes somebody on a Tuesday or even a Friday, y'all have seen that shit 50 times by the time we go live on Sunday. So I don't need to show it, but y'all can go watch that video. This is clear as day what happened. One dude fucking noticed, I guess when they were holding him on the ground, noticed he had a firearm and took the firearm off of him, which I don't know if that's a good idea or not. In other circumstances, like maybe, I don't know, probably not a great idea to be reaching for somebody else's gun during a struggle. I'm not an expert on this stuff. But the guy took his gun and then the fucking somebody blatted him a bunch of times, and then afterward they're like, oh, where's the gun? They wanted to make sure that they could fucking like show that he had a gun or whatever, which again, I thought these people loved that fucking white people have guns. Like, but the thing is, the idea the gun is like a cultural signifier, like a right-wing cultural signifier for a lot of these people, right? It's not that they think Americans should be armed and you know, well trained. You know, I bet this guy had like all the permits and shit that he needed for his gun, as far as I can tell. They just don't like that he had a gun and doesn't agree with them. Where are these "don't tread on me" motherfuckers at? I know it's rhetorical, and I know it's dumb to ask, because those "don't tread on me" motherfuckers were just looking for the boot that they thought tasted right. They were just looking for the right flavor of shoe leather this whole time. And here we go. Here's Heritage Foundation's Laura Rise on Fox. They're continuing to try to manufacture the narrative, and the fucked up part about this is that, like, there's going to be people, there's definitely people who are not going to actually watch the video, and they're just going to believe this narrative. Because if you watch on this fucking thing right here, I haven't seen this, but I can guarantee you that this Fox News hit, they are not going to show the video. They're not going to show it. Because the guy, there are no frames in that video that you can pull out that it looks like that man is attacking anyone. So they don't show it. They just tell you. Peaceful observer, don't shoot. Jesus Christ. Imagine fucking just that fucking, even just the hold on, I have to get sound up. Look at this person. Peaceful observer, don't shoot. This is crazy.
Oh, there have been a lot of protests over the death of Renee Good, who was shot by an ICE agent, and now this latest death involving a federal officer is raising the protest that we're seeing on the screen now. And I've raised the question again and again: where are these protesters, or where were they when 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare was killed by illegal immigrants?
I would be willing to bet that the person they're talking about, the assailant in that, probably got arrested and is facing justice. So you don't just protest in a city every time there's a murder. I don't like murder. You don't like murder. You shouldn't murder a 12-year-old. You shouldn't murder your neighbor. Shouldn't murder your wife, your husband. You shouldn't murder somebody on the bus. Shouldn't murder. But the thing is, when somebody murders somebody, I mean, the case closing rate isn't always that great, but generally they don't just fucking walk away. They don't just get like an attaboy from the fucking president and shit. That's why people are protesting. They're not protesting necessarily because somebody died at the hands of a federal agent. Federal agents, in the course of their duties, they probably kill fewer people than you might imagine when prior to this. But, you know, I've seen the X-Files. There's a Scully out there who shoots everybody. But the reason people are protesting is because they're doing this basically under the color of law.
And it has happened over and over and over again in this country since the mass illegal immigration of the Biden years.
Well, that's exactly right. These protesters are paid. This is not free speech. It's paid for, nor is
these protesters are paid. Even if I get paid to go out there, it's still free speech. Now you hate the free market too. You hate the free market. You hate free speech. These people, I'm sorry, nobody's going up there. Like, I'm sorry, it is cold. It is cold.
it's speech. And the government has a right to restrict time, place, and manner of true free speech. But these people are simply interfering and obstructing federal agents from carrying out federal law. It's very simple to not be shot by federal agents. Don't draw your gun on federal agents.
Oh, good. Show the video. Show me where this motherfucker even fucking show where we even saw the gun during his interaction with the federal agents. I want to see where we even saw the fucking gun before they had him on the ground. I want to see this part where all I saw was he had a phone. Even though the video is blurry, his hand was out like this. You don't hold a gun like, oh, sorry. You don't hold a gun like this, right? Because if you do, and then you fire the gun hits you in the face. So you don't, I'm not a gun expert, but.
Don't assault federal agents. Don't aim your car at federal agents. And so Governor Walz can't have it.
So they're not going to show the video. Show us the video.
He can't.
I bet they didn't show this motherfucker once on Fox. I mean, they didn't show this fucking video. I bet they might have, but I bet they weren't showing it very often.
Demonize federal agents, call for resistance to federal agents, and then be angry when some radical goon draws their gun on a federal agent and
what the fuck?
Himself is shot. He can't both tell state and local law officials to stand down, to not respond to calls for help from federal agents, and then demand that state and locals are going to conduct the investigation of all this. He is not acting in good faith.
He's not acting, dude. You're not acting in good faith. I don't even care whether or not somebody's acting in good faith. We used to go around and around about that with other fucking streamers, and I stopped arguing with people. I don't care if people are acting in good faith, especially if they're like a public figure. Like, what is the consequence of your behavior? But also, this lady's like, "Hey, you pulled a gun on a federal agent." Homegirl, no, he didn't. But that's going to be the line, and you're going to be fucking 6 months from now, 6 fucking months from now, you're going to be arguing with somebody, and they're going to be like, "Well, that one guy that they shot fucking 7 times in the back pulled a gun," and you're going to be like, "No, he didn't." But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the narrative is just going to be manufactured for everybody or everyone. I mean, this is no clear. I mean, I don't know, man. One dude took the guy's gun and fucking while second dude was holding the guy fucking so he couldn't get up. The third dude just unloaded a clip into the guy's back. I don't know. That. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just summary execution on the street. Like there's no gray area on this one. Oh, we're gonna do pre-crime. He was gonna. We've prevented him from doing something. Look, friends, it's pre-crime. Watch pre-crime.
A warning now to our viewers. We are about to show you video of today's killing on the streets of Minneapolis.
Are you going to show the whole video?
And it is graphic. Several agents surround the 37-year-old man who is on the ground, apparently trying to get him under control.
Nope. Look. Oh.
Officials say he was armed with a 9mm.
Look, they only look. Did you see what part of it? They only showed the part like,
Semi-automatic handgun and violently resisted being disarmed.
They're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people, you know.
He wasn't resisting being disarmed. I don't even think anybody knew he had a gun until they fucking put him on the ground.
Director Jonathan, if you've seen that video of today's shooting, your reaction?
Well, that was the first time I saw that, but it does look like...
Wait, why are you on the news? What the fuck are you doing here if that's the first time you saw it? Well, I don't know. I haven't really seen it, but here's the line where we're going to go with this. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck what's on that video. Here's what we're doing.
This person, just from that glimpse, is he's resisting, and if he's armed and they knew he...
Who are you? What? Former acting ice... Bitch, what do you do all day? Do you not have like fucking 5 minutes to look at a couple of available angles of this video before you go on Fox News? Like what the fuck do you do all day? I mean, as a former acting ice director? Bitch, what do you not have 5 minutes to go watch a video before your news hit? You lazy ass motherfucker.
was armed, it was imperative for them to take him down to keep them safe. And all of this talk about what's happening, we don't know the facts need to come out. I agree with that, but these officers very well could have prevented a major mass shooting of multiple officers today, and they are putting themselves in harm's way. And it's unfortunate when somebody dies, but again, people like Governor Walz and Jacob Fry, you would hope instead of tamping down the rhetoric, they come back out swinging, trying to sort of fire people up again. It's really shameful.
I want to play.
They're not. They're being pretty measured. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. I live in the town. I live in Oakland. And if this is happening in Oakland, our mayor is getting on fucking TV and being like everybody in the street.
A soundbite from
they ain't
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry. Here's what he had to say about the shooting this morning. Number one, control room.
Not a single broken window, not a single injury. Those peaceful protests embody the very principles that both Minneapolis and America was founded upon. Conversely, the mass militarized force and unidentified agents who are occupying our streets, that is what weakens our country. That is what erodes trust in both law enforcement and in democracy itself.
So he talked, Jonathan.
He riling them up to do a riot. He was like, hey, good job, everybody. You managed to go out there and protest. None of you even got in a street fight, a fist fight with anybody. Nobody was injured. Nobody even fucking cracked their head open on the fucking icy ground. Good job, Hawaiian imports. I don't know how you managed it. What do you got, like cleats on or something? Look at riling them up, making everybody violent. Nuh-uh. That's not what I didn't see that at all. I would like to see a little bit more of what they're describing from the mayor. Actually, that's not my call. Not my call. Also, Minneapolis, they're doing a fabulous job, and not for nothing, it ain't Oakland, right? It's a big city of 500,000, about the same number of people that Oakland has. But Oakland's in the middle of like a megalopolis, where if like the fucking goon squad came here, you'd have people from San Jose, San Francisco, fucking Fremont, Berkeley, Walnut Creek, Concord. You'd have people from all over the Bay Area in the streets here. So it's just like different calculus.
Then about peaceful protests, but if you're going to a protest, you might take a sign. But why do you have to take a semi-automatic handgun? And
dude, most handguns are semi-automatic, right? It's pull fire, pull fire, pull fire, pull fire, pull fire. Right? Like aren't most handguns semi-automatic? Like it's not like ye oldie times where you have that little fucking spinning thing and shit and you fucking pull the thing back. No, most handguns are semi-automatic. They're the same people who like stop calling it an assault rifle.
A couple of high-capacity magazines.
Yeah, exactly. And to act like it's an achievement to have a peaceful protest really shouldn't be that impressive. But these people, by and large...
Wait a minute. So the protest is peaceful. This guy, fucking, his only crime, I suppose, was having a gun that he was legally allowed to have. And I guess, what do you mean high-capacity magazines? Wait, wait a minute. Hold on. These same people are like, well, don't blame the gun, and the gun's not the problem when somebody goes in and mows down like fucking 50 elementary school students and shit. Same ass motherfuckers are here. Oh, he's got a high capacity magazine. Motherfucker, he didn't even fucking touch his gun.
For the last couple of weeks, they've been impeding ICE. They've been blocking them in. They've been doing all of these things to prevent them from doing their job. So it's really, the fact that he's saying that he's just plain wrong and he knows it. But the worst part about it, he's talking about our democracy. Well, part of our democracy is we have elections and we pass laws and the executive branch enforces the laws. And he's using his authority to prevent the law from being enforced. It's a complete subversion effort by him and Governor Walz. The likes of which...
Wait, no. Aren't these the same people that, like, when we say it's a democracy, when a Democrat wins, they're like, actually, it's a republic. It's a republic, and you can't just... mob rule is bad, and that's why we have the Electoral College. But now they're one fucking time their guy wins the popular vote. It's like a popular mandate for him to, like, send the Gestapo in anywhere where a city has too many fucking Somalis or something. This is all fucked up.
probably since the Civil War, where the state is just basically saying, hey, this is a no-go zone for immigration enforcement. And both Waltz and Fry have said that. And that's remarkable. And the president not only has a responsibility just for the immigration law, but for all laws in general, to not let that stand. You can't have a state, you can't have a politician, and you can't have some activists decide what federal laws get enforced, where they get enforced. It's really outrageous conduct. And one point that Paul Morrow made during the last hour as well, which I think is great, is during the riots of 2020, remember, probably the worst handled riots were Minneapolis, and the two common denominators, Waltz and Fry. Waltz was, trying to ingratiate himself with the rioters, while Waltz was figuratively hiding under her desk. And we saw what happened in Minneapolis, and they seem to be intent on having it happen again.
Yeah.
So the stuff that they're calling rioting in Minneapolis, some of it's unclear. There's pretty strong evidence that there were the Boogaloo Boys. They don't seem very active anymore, that they were involved, particularly in Minneapolis, and that one of the buildings that was set on fire or broken into was set on fire by the Boog. I don't know for sure. I am not an expert on this stuff, and a lot of times when things are chaotic, there's some ambiguity, and you got to just take your best guess. But also, when they burned the fucking police station down, I was like, you get them. I was like, I would never tell you to burn down a police station, but when they burned down the cop shop, I was like, yeah, fucking, if I was there and I had some marshmallows. Anyway, this older lady, and by older, I keep saying older, and I think she's probably like my age. She's probably like 50. She has a different view, actually, if you could imagine, than the ghouls on Fox News.
Where do we head from here?
I think the only thing that can happen now is they have to get them out. There has to be fewer murderers. They're saying they're coming in to save us from some evil. They're talking about our neighbors who bake for us, who take care of us, who help our children, who help us when we need it. The murderers are ICE. They are who we need out of this city. Let us carry on our life safely and not in fear of being shot if we help a woman who slips on the ice, as I saw happened earlier today before that man was murdered. Alex, let's say his name. Alex was murdered while he was helping. I can't stop thinking of Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. And right now, the helpers have a target on our forehead, and ICE will shoot us as soon as look at us. And I'm a preschool teacher. Mr. Rogers is my number one influence. I cannot stand by and allow this to happen. Mr. Rogers would be here right now, too, so I'm here.
Dude, Mr. Rogers would be telling people to throw a Molotov.
Thank you so much both for your time. I really appreciate it. Stay warm.
Thank you.
My God, you got preschool dude, these are just normal people. Oh, they're paid agitators. That's a preschool teacher. She probably can barely make a rent, much less be a paid agitator. That fucking childcare and education are not fucking well funded, even in a better state, I suppose, than some others like Minnesota. Yeah, that preschool teacher's spitting. She's probably the fucking best preschool teacher too. So what I do notice is when you see these kinds of crackdowns, I think the reason that they left Chicago is I think Chicago's just too big a metro area. There's too many people, and if they would have used these kinds of aggressive tactics in Chicago, things would have gone very differently. When they tried to deploy, when there were some people deployed at, I think there's like a naval or a mothballed naval air station in Alameda. They showed up, and then I don't know. The mayor talked to somebody. The mayor talked to somebody from the administration, mayor of Oakland, and then they left. And so I don't. When they deployed in LA, they were doing some stuff, but they weren't being this aggressive. And I've noticed that when these kinds of things happen, be it the Proud Boys or ICE, they go for like little blue dots. Like Minneapolis is like a blue dot. I know the state is like a Democrat, but it's like slim Democrat. And around it is like not a major, like a megalopolis, like the Bay Area or Los Angeles or even Chicagoland. And again, Portland. The Proud Boys went to Portland over and over again because, again, outside of Portland, it's just all rural. If anybody remember when the Proud Boys went to Berkeley, Well, they didn't come back to no Berkeley, did they? And it's not because the people in Berkeley are more badass or whatever than the people in Portland. It's just that there's more of us. There's more of us. You can drive an hour in almost any direction from Berkeley except west, I suppose, and you're still in the city. Anyway, that's our coverage of Minneapolis. Stay safe up there, folks that are up there, and to the extent that it is possible, put your body against the machine. Up next, we got Donald Trump talking about his Board of Peace, which is very stupid. Very stupid.
Have you invited President Putin to be a member of the Board of Peace? Yeah, he's been invited.
Do you have any response to President Macron saying he will not join the Board of Peace?
Oh, did he say that? Well, nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. So, that's all right. What I'll do is if they feel like Costo, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes, and he'll join. But he doesn't have to join. If he said that, you're probably giving it to me a little bit differently. But if he actually did say that, but as you know, he's going to be out of office in a few months.
Did you invite?
Oh, is he terming out? I don't know enough about France. Does France have term limits? Is Macron terming out? Well, whoever they put in probably isn't going to be fucking Trump's friend. What a dumb thing. What a dumb thing. I'm going to tax the wine at the Costco. He's so stupid. People in America drink wine from Napa Valley. We just do. Not a lot of people be buying French fucking wine. Even champagne. It's been a very long time since people have been buying imported wine in any kind of significant amount. Napa Valley's wine is a lot. I mean, I'm not a wine person, but a lot of people say Napa Valley's wine is the best in the world. And so, yeah. Anyway, even Brian Kilmeade's dumbass is like not so sure about this Board of Peace thing, which is amazing.
Back to you guys on the couch.
All right, Edward. Thank you very much.
So all of these nations in the Board of Peace, they're paying $1 billion for this permanent seat on the board. And these are nations, the president says, with tremendous influence. The idea...
Wait, who are they paying $1 billion to? Are they paying $1 billion to whom?
And we've heard also peace in Israel, and now the president saying peace all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, you have about 20 who showed up, most of which they all signed and some of which spoke. Jared Kushner as well as Steve Witkoff are going to end up going to Russia to talk peace with Vladimir Putin.
Oh, why was that? Oh God, that's Millet. Why'd they have to go to Russia? Is it because Vladimir Putin would have been like arrested as soon as he stepped off the fucking plane if he went to Davos? I think that's it. I think Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't there either for the same reason.
Who is not into peace. I don't know how many visits we need to get that clear. But you have Zelensky meeting with the president right now, at which time they are talking peace. And he's saying this is the framework I can deal with. So you cannot blame Ukraine for not coming to the table. But I think it's interesting, if you're talking about Middle East peace, these are the countries that need to get involved if you're ever going to have Gaza be a place that can inhabit human beings who want to have a good life, as opposed to Hamas, who still controls about 70% of Gaza and has yet to put down their weapons. If they're going to put down...
Oh, this framing. Dude, oh my God, Gaza is like a reaction to like a nuclear power essentially oppressing the people of Gaza. Hamas is a reaction. It is not the cause, it is a symptom.
Weapons. Many of the countries on this board will be the ones to make them.
Of course. And, it's interesting in the remarks earlier, President Trump talking about the United Nations, saying that they've got a lot of potential. They just haven't realized it, saying that this Board of Peace would be willing to work with the UN. But it kind of underscores the fact that the United Nations was created for this very reason, to do the things that President Trump says the Board of Peace will do. And, all we've seen is just the opposite. The United Nations UNRWA, the Relief Assistance Program for the Palestinian people in Gaza that was created to help them. We find out from report after report that they've cooperated with Hamas, just unbelievably the opposite of what it was created for. And so now... Actually,
no, Hamas is the government there. That's who runs the government there.
Trump is going in saying, we're going to do this right. We're going to do what the United Nations was supposed to do. Since they didn't do it, we'll work with them
if
they want to be a part of it. Yeah. But you look at the countries, particularly in the Middle East, that are signing on to this, that are here today, the UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt. These are all the players that want to see the goals of this board succeed.
Yeah, well, President Trump.
No, those are the people willing to kiss Donald Trump's ass and give him $1 billion.
There's some controversial people that are on the Board of Peace or have been asked to join the Board of Peace. But he says that all people, we need all people and all their influence to get the job done. He said, if I put babies on board, it wouldn't be very much, meaning if I just put the ones that I'm friends with and all the ones that are doing everything right, then we wouldn't be able to achieve any.
But those are all countries whose leaders are sycophantic to Donald Trump. What do you mean? That's like it's the Donald Trump sycophant board.
So his idea is to bring all the countries together, including the UAE, Egypt, Turkey, Qatar, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. The French are not involved yet. Maybe they will be, but they're
like no Western European country is involved.
Saying that they want to rely more on the UN. So, and Russia, Putin has an invitation, the president says.
Yeah, it's crazy to invite Vladimir Putin. I don't know why. He has nothing to do with peace. He's created most of the.
Oh, you guys, Brian Kilmeade, you're dealing with some pretty strong cognitive dissonance right here, aren't you? Donald Trump wants to be Vladimir Putin.
Most of the violence in over the last 20 years. But Vladimir Putin has been invited. So has President Zelensky. He said, I received the invitation. He said, but how can I go on a board of peace with Russia and Belarus, who does whatever Russia wants? They're a vassal state. Canada says, yeah, I'm interested in doing it, but I want to make sure humanitarian aid gets to Gaza. And they say we don't want to spend $1 billion. Pushback they get.
Good for Canada.
There we go. I think the $1 billion is due after 3 years if you want to be a permanent member. I don't think it's due right away. I'm not.
Wait, what is the $1 billion worth?
Why do you need $1 billion to get on this?
I don't know.
I don't. Where does the $1 billion go? I think it's just a bribe. Right? I think all these people are giving fucking Donald Trump $1 billion. I don't think it does. I don't think it's not gonna advance the cause of peace anywhere. It's gonna advance the cause of fucking Ivanka's inheritance or whatever. Like, what the fuck? All right, up next we got Senator Tom Tillis. He's on CNBC Squawk Box, and he's going to talk about Greenland, etc.
There are some other Republican senators who have raised the issue as well. I believe Senator McConnell has said that if the president goes ahead with this moves on Greenland, if something were to happen there, that this would be something that other Republican senators would move to impeach him on. Are you in that camp?
Well, I'm not going to go to impeachment because I would go to the process of implementing, let's say it was a kinetic action or some sort of increase in military presence.
Kinetic act? Do you mean like bombing Greenland? Is that that's what he means when he says kinetic action?
Since that I'd immediately go for a war powers resolution. I think that we could easily get veto-proof majorities. That's why I'm trying to advise the president. We need to project power from Greenland.
So the war powers resolution is kind of like shit and masturbation because you shouldn't even need like the War Powers Act or anything like that. You shouldn't need anything. It's right there in the fucking Constitution that Congress is the only entity that can declare war. And that should mean if we're going to go fucking invade Greenland, that Congress should have to fucking sign off on it. That's never been the way that it works. It doesn't matter who the fuck the president is. I think basically any time after World War II that the United States has gone into a conflict, Congress has, if they approved it, they approved it after the fucking bombs started dropping. So like that's one of the first things that like when we get rid of Donald Trump, man, that's one of the first things that needs to change is that like we need to get back to like where only Congress declares war. And if the president tries to do any of that shit, he just immediately gets immediately removed. Up next, this is the same guy. I'm not critical of the president. I'm just critical of what he's doing, man. This guy is these people are such fucking sycophants.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And to be clear, I'm not critical of the president. I'm critical of the bad advice he's getting on Greenland.
Okay, well,
it can't be him. It's somebody else. Somebody else is telling him to do Greenland. It's bad advice he's getting about Greenland. And here we got Bessent. Also on CNBC Squawk Box to talk about Greenland. This is obviously at Davos. Or maybe they're not at Davos. This could just be like a green screen and they like just have like sweaters on and like fans in the studio. Who knows?
4 years in, the Europeans are still financing the war against themselves.
All right, let's talk about.
But Joe,
yeah.
what I do want to say is, same thing that I said after Liberation Day on April 2nd. Everyone, take a deep breath. Do not escalate. Do not escalate. And President Trump has a strategy here. Hear him out, and then everything will be fine.
President Trump has a strategy here. Hear him out. Everything will be fine. Do not escalate. But escalate, like, what is he talking? Is he talking to people in Congress? So here's more of Bessent, Scott Bessent, talking about the Nobel Peace Prize and how even though Donald Trump, there's a letter released that I think he sent to the wrong country, if I'm not fucking mistaken. Maybe he sent to all of the European letters or whatever that got leaked that said that he was definitely fucking doing this because of the Nobel Peace Prize. Don't worry, it's not about the Nobel Peace Prize. Ignore your lying eyes.
And the U.S. is back, and this is what U.S. leadership looks like.
Before the president ever rests on his laurels, and many times he's moving on to the next thing. And what I was leading to is I don't think it's a quid pro quo with Norway. I think he's saying, look, I've had 8 peace deals. I've settled them all through peace. This is essential for security.
But those 8 peace deals, like I know of at least 2 where the fighting is still happening after Donald Trump declared peace. I guess he just declares peace and fucking moves on.
For both the world, for the United States, for Greenland, for Denmark, for Europe. In one way or another, we got to get to where we're going. And I think that was what his point was. Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%. I think it's a complete canard. And if there's any kind of equivalence with the Nobel Prize. This has been.
But then why did he fucking write a letter to people? I think it was a text message. I think he was like texting it, like SMS, maybe RCS.
Its mind since his first term. It's been on the presidential mind for 150, 160 years. The U.S. has been trying to acquire Greenland. This is not.
Wait, no, I don't know. Wait, I don't know if that's true. Hold on, I don't think so. Anybody remember any of the presidents being like, Ronald Reagan was like, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Also, we're taking Greenland. Like, presidents I don't like. George W. Bush didn't even talk about taking Greenland, and he was stupid. It's probably because Cheney didn't care about it. Here's Jesse Waters. He's like, oh, we're going to get it. It's going to be $700 billion. We're going to get it. We're getting Greenland. Man, this is all like just mind-expandingly stupid.
We're offering them $700 billion.
Yes. $1 billion per person.
$1 billion per person. The royal family in Denmark is dying to sell Denmark. Every European that we're...
Wait, Denmark? We're trying to buy the whole thing of Denmark now? Wait, why are they trying to sell Denmark? Wait a minute. The royal family of Denmark? I don't think Denmark's king has the authority to sell Greenland, right? It's like an honorific, right? I don't think that isn't Denmark like a republic, don't they have like a parliament?
Greece, with the $700 billion, is dying to do this deal. It's like when you find out your great-grandmother has this amazing piece of real estate right on the coast, and some big fat developer comes over and makes an amazing offer, and you don't even go to the property. You've never even seen the estate, and you don't have enough money.
That makes you stupid. I don't know. Some developer came and offered me all this money. I didn't even bother to get the property appraised. That makes you stupid. Even if you're not greedy, you're still stupid. Because maybe there's your great grandma. I assume there's a bunch of great grandkids and stuff. Maybe some of them aren't doing so well. Maybe some of them could use the money, and so maybe you go get an appraisal. A developer came and offered me $10 million, and then you sell it for $10 million, and then they turn around and fucking sell it for $170 million like 6 months later. Now you feel stupid.
build on it. So someone comes here, slaps a check down, and you're going to say no?
Well, yeah, maybe you want it. Maybe you have other plans for it. Everything isn't always for sale.
Once Bessent and Lutnick and Rubio get into a room with all these guys and knock their heads together, we're getting Greenland.
Yeah, you know.
Oh man, they're gonna knock everybody's heads together in a room, and we're gonna get Greenland. Oh my fucking god! So amidst all this, the Fed chair, they're trying to fucking level some kind of corruption charge against the Federal Reserve. It's some bullshit about like potential cost overruns for like some construction, which is really ironic and interesting considering what the fuck's going on at the White House right now. Or I don't know, they're building like, you know, that thing in fucking Vegas, that dome. They're probably just going to build one of those there. This is more of a Bessent. He's talking about how a Fed chair showing up to a hearing about himself just to be in the audience is putting the finger on the scale in an unfair way.
In terms of the Supreme Court hearing, I believe, I'm not sure whether it's today or tomorrow, Jay Powell has announced he's going to attend. And Joe, I got to tell you, I actually think that's a mistake. Because if you're trying not to politicize the Fed, for the Fed chair to be sitting there trying to put his thumb on the scale is a real mistake.
And
wait, what?
There's a lot to talk about, obviously, with Jay Powell.
Friends, the hearing is about him, and he's gonna just sit in the fucking gallery of the Supreme Court to watch a hearing about himself. Putting his thumb on the scale, what, by sitting there? The bar these people have for being offended. All these people were calling me a snowflake and a cuck or whatever. Well, when they called me a cuck, it was really interesting because it was often interesting that virgins were accusing me of group sex that they didn't like. All these people were like, oh, you're offended by everything. Liberals are fucking mad about everything. And now the dude is going to a Supreme Court hearing about himself, and they're like, this is highly inappropriate. I'm offended. Fucking weirdos. I mean, fuck the Federal Reserve, fuck Jerome Powell. I'm sure he's like some kind of ghoul, but this is dumb. This is absolutely mind-expandingly stupid. So there was a hearing. Jack Smith, former prosecutor, was brought up before Congress, and things didn't really go so well. I mean, some of it was entertaining, but so this guy used to former Capitol Police. Last name is Fanone. I forget his first name. He's all over the place. He's like that tattooed guy who, like, I think it traumatized him. I think what happened to him on January 6th traumatized him, and he's, willing to speak out. I don't, fuck the police and shit, but he's willing to speak out about the experiences he had on January 6th, 2021. This is a little exchange going on at the Jack Smith hearing. Watch this.
I would like to quickly address the police officers of January 6th. Mr. Don, Mr. Fanone, Mr. Gonell, Mr. Hodges. I'm a member of the new select committee to actually examine what happened that day. And I can tell you, gentlemen, that the fault does not lie with Donald Trump. It lies with Yogananda Pittman and the U.S. Capitol leadership team. We know they had the intelligence, and there was going to be a high propensity.
You hear that?
And there was
fuck yourself. Good for him.
To be a high propensity for violence that day. Claim my time, yeah.
You will be
claiming my time. He didn't take up any of your time.
To the gentleman from Texas. We've had some disruptions already. We don't need that. Let the gentleman may continue.
We know the Capitol leadership team, specifically Yogananda Pittman, had the intelligence, and there was going to be a high propensity for violence that day.
Oh my God. Okay, there's more. It's not. This is not great. Things did not go very well. I don't know what's going on here. Like, other people were like, oh, he sure fucking brought the juice against Trump. I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for, like, this.
It's about what the Department of Justice did. It's about what you did. The core of the hearing is all about, can Americans still trust the justice system? Is it fair? Was it fair under you? And all they expected.
Under you, Jack Smith didn't run. Jack Smith wasn't, wait, under you? He was just a prosecutor. I mean, it's a prestigious job that he had. He's just a prosecutor. He didn't run the Justice Department. He worked at Southern District of New York, right? I think he worked at SDNY.
They expect you to treat everyone the same, Republicans and Democrats, liberals and conservatives, but that wasn't the case. When you treat people differently because of their political status, their political party.
Oh, yeah, Avalon of Babylon in chat, the guy that was talking had made threats against Fanon's wife. That comes up in a minute. That comes up in the next clip, yeah.
Their ideals, that's hypocrisy. And I'm sorry to say, and I don't say it lightly, I do consider you to be a hypocrite. With that being said,
wait, what's the question? You're supposed to be questioning him. What's the question?
I think the prosecutors and the people around you stretch norms, change standards depending upon who was under investigation. So you don't like Donald Trump, and so you're a liberal Democrat, whatever the case may be. And they went after him. And by the way, it's interesting, in all those congressional records that were subpoenaed, all those congressional records that were looked at, was one of them a Democrat? No. The answer is no. I'll answer for you.
I'd just sit there too. I'd be like, you know what, forget it. He's like, I don't know that much about Jack Smith, but like, I don't know, man. I think the thing to do is be like, is there a question? I'm here to answer questions. And this fucking Mr. Van Drew would get hella mad, probably.
So I got simple questions. I always say
oh, those aren't questions?
Simple guy, but it really boils down to this. How much can Americans trust this system? In your special counsel report, you stated President Trump engaged and was guilty of criminal conspiracies, and he was guilty of criminal conduct, and you publicly testified you believed you had the proof, etc. If prosecutors deal this way with cases, if they declare that it's guilty and it's over before a jury verdict, would Americans trust the justice system more, or would they? Would they trust the system more?
More, or would they? Or, oh, dude, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
The answer, go ahead, answer, please answer.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you were asking me.
So this was all going on before, and I believe it was political, before there was an entire case, and we went.
Man, this guy, anybody like longtime viewers of this show, that fucking this House member, that Mr. Van Drew, he's got like that Austin Bennett like speech pattern, where he'll start saying something and right in the middle of it, he start fucking saying something else, and then never really finish the first thing or the second thing he was saying.
The whole case, you pretty much declared, and I'm not going to read the whole thing through again, that President Trump was guilty. That wasn't your job. That's a judge's job. It's a jury's job. It's not your job. Don't you think that's unfair, that's wrong, didn't make the playing field level? Did it make people less trustworthy of the system? Yes or no?
No. When I announced the charges in the election case, I specifically stated that the case needed to be tried, and that he had a right to go to trial, and he was presumed innocent.
And thank you for
He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, you can watch a video of me announcing the charges that we had filed. I didn't fucking say any of that shit. Oh, we got one more. But this isn't really about Jack Smith. This is about Mr. Fanone, and well, there's a bit of a confrontation here, if you could imagine. I don't know, man. I think I like this Fanone guy. He doesn't give a fuck. He's kind of had it.
Hey, what's up? Don't pretend like we're not old decades. But why do you have to lose your cool like that? I've been always professional. I'm not losing my cool. Every single time I communicate with you, I am always professional with you. Well, I'm not. It requires other people to continue to.
He keeps telling him to go fuck. He's like, fuck yourself. The guy's like, oh, professionalism. He's like, fuck yourself.
Okay? I'm not going to get it. You threaten my life. You're a traitor to this fucking country. Why are you so spasmodic? My spasmodic? Absolutely. Look behind you. Do so. Why should I? I'm communicating with them. Right? Look at your face.
Trust me, I'm using a lot of
how many people are constraining you? Look at me. Total control over my mind, body.
Hey, the committee will be in order.
Mr. Chairman, will you?
No shame.
Sir.
Treating these people that way.
This guy is threatening my family.
Members of the audience,
my children.
members of the audience will please sit down or remove themselves from the committee room.
Rape my children, you sick bastard.
Fuck yeah, you sick fuck. So that's the Jack Smith hearing. That's at least as much of it as we're gonna watch. People could check that out themselves in their spare time. Up next, we've been kind of following a little bit lately. There's a guy named Scott Jennings that they have on CNN, and he's been like wilding out, dude. He has been acting real stupid. I do like that they have Politics Girl on. I forget her name now. I forget her, but anybody extremely online, you know what I'm talking about. Politics Girl. It's this blonde lady. The reason I like her is because she makes faces, right? She doesn't have that like stern TV face. Like what she is thinking, like you can see right here, what she is thinking, it's written all over Homegirl's face. Like the whole time. You don't even need to say a word. You already know what's happening here. But here's this exchange between the two of these people.
But they should follow the law, but let's not get our knickers in a twist here. There's no
let's not
punishment
get our
for this.
knickers in a twist over child rape. Why are you talking like that? It's insane.
Get our knickers in a twist. Fucking love her.
Why are you talking like that? It's insane. Like, it's insane. The Epstein Files
What's
is
insane?
a multinational, multi-generational child and woman sex trafficking ring. So your attitude right now, you're sort of like, well, shucks, devil begun, is just horrifying to me. Every woman in the world that is watching this, why are you acting like you have no idea what's happening here? Scott, this is...
He asked me a question about following the law.
Yes, and what I'm
I said they
saying
should
to you
follow
is
the
your
law.
attitude. Yeah, and they're not following the law. They're 30 days late on following law, and they didn't explain why they redacted the first things in the first place, which they were also supposed to do.
I know.
Listen,
You
at
have a
this
strong
point, this is
opinion
not...
about it, and
I
I
have a strong
respect that.
opinion about it because it is a
But I think they should-
disgusting
I think they should do it
policy
as
that they are
fast as
doing
they
this.
can.
They are hiding it. It is not the behavior of innocent people, and everything that is in these files is... It could bring an entire house down. And if it has to, it has to. If it brings down Democrats, bring them down. If it brings down Republicans, bring them down. If it brings down princes, world leaders, Hollywood people, bring them down. But what it feels like right now is that there's a giant cabal of people that do not have to listen to the law, do not have to oppose the law, and they were supposed to do something, then they didn't do something, and now they're trying to have a new law that says we don't even have to do it. And what's really...
Fuck yeah, I love Politics Girl. Again, there is no like pretense with her. She's not like pretending. I hope they don't stop having her on because she's fucking rude. But during the same panel, actually, it was like dunk on Jennings during this panel. Here's a former Parkland kid, not a kid anymore, young man now, Cameron Kasky, on that same panel and probably asking the thing that, or maybe making the point that a lot of people have been thinking to themselves while they watch CNN lately.
The force.
Quick last word, Cameron, they're getting a break.
Listen, you can't say illegals anymore because ICE is directly targeting legal citizens of this country. And
How are you going to enforce your edict on me, just out of curiosity?
Listen, I understand.
But just listen to his point about illegal.
No, I want to know why he gets to
It's
instruct
not, you're
my
changing
speech.
the topic.
Hang on. You're
I'm
making a point
making an
about the
emotional
people being
plea.
arrested. Go
I
ahead.
understand that your job is predicated on just getting increasingly more demented every single week, and that the audience comes back to see if perhaps
Make your point.
My point is that you're saying the word illegals, but
it's in
you
federal
don't
law.
even really know what's happening. Or actually, I think you do, and
Sure
you're
I do.
doing this on purpose. But
Yes,
the truth
because
is,
I want the law enforced.
they are not just targeting illegal immigrants. They
are.
are targeting natural-born U.S. citizens.
They are not.
That is a fact. You
They are
cannot
not.
deny that. I mean, you can on national television.
They are
deny
not.
facts all the time.
They
You've
are
done it a
not.
couple times in this very episode.
I still want to know how you're going to enforce your language edicts on me.
We'll take that up.
How are we going to enforce?
As promised,
Man, don't try to bully that theater kid. Don't try to bully that theater kid. Get the fuck out of here. Like he said, I don't know. It just seems like your job on here is to just be more and more demented every time you come on TV. I'm like, fuck yeah. Because that guy's like, he just goes on there and just lies and pisses people off. for like apparently no reason. You're like, how are you going to enforce your edict on me? Dude, that's like a 25 or 26-year-old gay kid or young man or whatever. Dude, he's not enforcing an edict on you. Shut the fuck up, dude. Up next, this argument for voter ID. It just keeps coming up, and it's just people that don't go out in the real world or whatever. And by that, I mean Donald Trump. Check this out. Here, I don't know. Anybody been to the grocery store lately? I mean, last time I went to the grocery store, I did buy alcohol, so I had to show my ID. But if I go to the grocery store, I'm not buying alcohol or cigarettes or anything. I don't have to show my ID. But Donald Trump has no idea because this man has not done his own grocery shopping probably ever.
All we want is voter ID. You go to a grocery store, you have to give ID.
No, you don't.
You go to a gas station, you give ID.
Wait, why?
For voting, they want no voter ID. There's only for one reason, because they cheat. We would pass that in 15 minutes. If you don't get it, you'll never pass that. You'll never talk about mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots make it automatically corrupt. If you have mail-in ballots, automatically it's correct. Even Jimmy Carter, they had the Carter Commission after he got out of office, and he had a group of very distinguished people, Democrats and Republicans, and they passed, they recommended things take place. It was a long time ago. And
yeah, it was. It was fucking 40-something years ago, man. Fucking things change.
If there is mail-in ballots, there will definitely be corruption because, they pass through too many hands.
The fucking post office, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I think second only to nurses. Like the people who work for the fucking post office are like trusted by American citizens. Like your mail carrier. Friends, you don't have to show your ID at the store. You just don't. They don't even check my ID when I buy a bottle of vodka, but that's because I'm like old. You don't have to show your ID to buy gasoline. In fact, you don't even have to go inside the gas station. You have to show your credit card, I guess, to the machine or whatever, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do any. There are very few places in this country where you got to show your ID. Nightclub, I guess. Any place that's like age restricted that's the only. And if you get pulled over, I guess for like a traffic infraction or whatever, you have to show your driver's license. But that's more, I think, about whether or not you're licensed to drive a vehicle than your identification. Maybe equal parts. But in any case, if I go to the grocery store, like I go to the bougie grocery store around the way here, they don't have booze or tobacco, so there's no reason for them to ask for my ID at all. And they just overcharge for pantry items and have pretty good prices on tomatoes, but they don't ask for my ID, so I'll take the hit sometimes. Up next, we have Brooke Rollins. We were talking about this the last couple of weeks. They're still running simulations on how you can eat for cheap, which is stupid because we all know how to eat for cheap. It's about preparation. It's about preparation and making things from scratch. That's how you eat for cheap. But they've run simulations.
I said, come back to me and let me know. And I don't want any funny business with numbers. Like, I really want to know what that looks like because I
don't want any funny business with numbers. Lady, how much you spend for food is a number. I hate to be the fucking, actually, ma'am, the amount that you spend on food is represented in the form of a number, but I'm being that guy. That's how much you spend on food is represented in the form of a number.
Simulations, and between $3 and $4 is a fair number if you can have access to that food. So just about an hour ago, I saw new numbers that were run. A full day, meaning 3 full square meals and a snack, is about $15.64. $15.64. That's all 3 meals and a snack. So we'll be talking more about that in the coming days.
Right, but what snack?
Weeks. Part of me sort of cringed at the criticism that I got because it wasn't what I meant. And I grew up with a single mom in a really small town and certainly never meant to be flippant. But I also think that the left or those that...
I grew up, she didn't ever say that they didn't have money, just that she grew up with a single mom in a really small town.
Attacking me perhaps know that this is an issue that 90% of Americans agree on. It is one that no one's really done anything about until this administration, and it is one where we will fundamentally, I believe, change the trajectory of our country by changing the health of our country. I'm really proud of that.
We've run the simulation. friends, you can eat really good for, I'd say, $3 a meal, more or less, if you have time to do meal prep. And like fucking most important is that you need to have access to a supermarket, essentially, like a Food Max or a grocery outlet, or even like a Safeway, but not like if you live, like if I couldn't get around, like where I live, the only close by thing is the bougie market, and I wouldn't be able to eat for $3 a meal. But you can do this. You do meal prep. You cook things ahead of time. You make a big you get like a roast, and you make like fucking I don't know, you get like a pork roast, and you make fucking pastor or something with it. Now you have fucking pastor tacos. You freeze some of it. And you read, yeah, you can do it, but like everybody already knows that. And fucking not everybody has the fucking time. Not everybody's a trad wife like me, all making a loaf of bread every 3 days. Like a fucking, not everybody's doing that. People don't have time. People have busy lives. They have kids. Their kids want McDonald's. Like maybe you know, like if I want a steak, if I want to cook a steak, I'm not good at cooking a steak. It's not worth it. But if I were good at cooking a steak, I wouldn't be eating for $3 a meal, right? Like just a steak is more than $3. But like you can eat for cheap, but this isn't the solution. The prices of everything is going up. And like, I don't know. I also like these people are just idiots. Again, it's very much possible to eat on the cheap and eat well, especially if you like rice. If you like rice, if you like, you have a big enough freezer and you can get a whole chicken on sale. You don't mind taking that shit apart. Now you have fucking all the meat you need in the world for curry and stuff. But fucking people don't always have the time. Anyway, up next, we got JD Vance talking about the economy and comparing it to the Titanic.
This is something I want you to hear. The Democrats talk a lot about the affordability crisis in the United States of America. And yes, there is an affordability crisis, one created by Joe Biden's policies. You don't turn the Titanic around overnight. It takes time to fix what was broken. I said earlier that the
Titanic sank. We can't do anything with the Titanic after a certain point because it sank. It's fantastic. So this is interesting here. Even Fox News knows that there's that the measles outbreak in the measles outbreak in South Carolina is possibly the result of anti-vaxxers. This is actually pretty amazing. To be fair, this is a Fox Business alert, so maybe it's a Fox Business alert. And they want you to go to work, so they don't want the measles happening because they need you to go to work.
Ongoing outbreak of measles in South Carolina. It's serious stuff. The state's Department of Public Health reports 646 cases since October. Dr. Mark Siegel joins us. Doctor, I gotta say that vaccine skepticism is not helping this situation, is it?
No, especially since the measles, mumps, rubella shot has been around for decades.
I don't like that they use the word skepticism. Skepticism is show me the money.
And the problem in South Carolina is there's only a 90% uptake of that, and certain pockets much less. And why does that matter? Because measles is so contagious. The
90% is like residual from people that already got it. I'd be interested to see like what percentage of children under 5, for example, have been vaccinated in South Carolina.
95% or more of people have got the vaccine. It's going to resurge. Measles will resurge among people who haven't been vaccinated, and that's almost all of the 646 cases. Over 2,000 in the United States this year. We're going to lose our elimination status, which for you on the business side means that there may be stricter rules in place when people travel here. And what it actually means medically is that you don't need to bring it by travel. You can have it here and you're going to rekindle it the following year.
No, we're not going to get it by traveling because we're the ones that are going to give it to everybody else.
RFK Jr. come right out with it and say, get that vaccine. We got a measles problem. Should he say that?
Yeah, he said that to me months ago when I interviewed him, and he needs to say that now.
No, he's not going to say that. You all are idiots. God, you all, why is this monster I created behaving like a monster and creating all the bad effects like a monster would create? Well, it's because you fucking empowered these people, you stupid fucks. Now we have measles, and again, it's the measles. It's most people. I'd say most people over fucking 25 are probably vaccinated, right? It's like fucking children who are going to be suffering here mostly. Fucked up. They didn't choose not to get vaccinated. It's their dumbass fucking parents getting fed fucking poison by probably Facebook more than Fox News. So here's more of, I guess, the GOP healthcare plan. Is this the new GOP healthcare plan? They keep saying they have one. This might be the GOP healthcare plan. I don't know. There's Justin's favorite, Dan Crenshaw in the background.
Often the big lie to trivialize and mask the cruelty of abortion. The abortion pill, mifepristone, is baby poison that kills the unborn child by starving the baby girl or the baby boy to death. That's how it works. Starvation, a pill to starve another human being. We now know that the abortion pill, and we've long suspected this, is extremely dangerous to women. And I ask the media, investigative reporters, start uncovering or get rid of this cover-up that we've had since the Clinton administration.
I believe this thing, and I need you to prove it for me. Go prove my false claim for me right now. This isn't even do your own research. It's do my own research. I need the investigative reporters to tell me that I'm correct. Ooh, this isn't bad, actually. We're only an hour and a half here. We're almost into red light. We got a few more stories here. This is weird. This is Will Cain on Fox News. We should probably spend a little more time on this guy as he becomes more influential. They're kind of taking up the right wing over there at Fox News. He's also just fucking mind-expandingly stupid, I think. He thinks that everyone, all of the allies of Great Britain, should be outraged that the name Muhammad is somewhat popular. So, okay, so he's got this number one baby name in England is Muhammad. I don't know. The UK is losing its. This is just racist. This is just fucking great replacement. And yeah, 40.6% of 40.6 is like non-UK born. Yeah, that's a city. That's a cosmopolitan city. Anyway, here's Will Cain. He thinks that not only should the Brits be angry about it, but for some reason, like the French or somebody, like all the allies, everybody, every ally of Great Britain should be fucking furious.
For the party of protecting norms, they missed a norm. And that is that while we can criticize each other at home, while we can fight vigorously over policy and we can debate, when you go overseas, that's when you are one. That's when we are Americans. You don't run off to Paris or Davos and talk bad about America. Not on the world stage. But as they...
Wait, why? I remember when the Dixie Chicks did that. They've criticized America on foreign soil.
Violins, Trump is bringing something new to the table, the pursuit of peace and the willingness to work with anyone, including Russia's Putin, to get it done. It's another strategy.
Like that Trump wasn't always cozy with Putin. Like Trump doesn't want to be Putin. They're like, oh, he's even willing to work with Putin. It's like, shut the whole fuck up. Have you been paying any attention at all?
Seems to be working. Almost 20 countries have reportedly signed on to the Board of Peace Charter. Notably missing, European powerhouses.
Like all of our fucking traditional allies. Like that's who's missing. Like Mexico. Like our best friend Mexico and Canada. Like who's missing? Australia. Like who's missing? All of our ally Japan.
The UK. Their absence represents something bigger going on. According to the Migration Research Institute, Europe is turning into essentially one big no-go zone, which means police and social workers and ambulances don't enter.
Oh, the no-go zones. They're trying to bring the no-go zones back. Anyone remember that? Was it Alex Jones tried to go to the no-go zone and people were just like, some people recognized him and flipped him off, but people were like super nice to him. Like Laura Loomer tried to go to one of these no-go zones and like, what was it? Lauren Southern tried to go to these things and everybody was just like super nice to them and the food was good and shit. There's no no-go zones. Get the fuck out of here.
Or must be protected if they do enter this zone. There are an estimated 900 uncontrolled areas throughout Europe. 65 no-go zones in Sweden. In the UK, 4 in 10 London residents weren't born in the country.
And residents, like not even citizens. So that, like, resident could mean I'm here for 6 months on a work contract.
Number one baby name in England, Muhammad. Where is the outcry, the outrage from our allies over what's happening right under our nose?
Wait, why? Why would I don't understand. Could you tell me why? Why is this could you tell me why? The no-go zones, it's bullshit. Nobody's ever able to actually find any of these no-go zones. Even the people who are highly motivated to find them haven't been able to find them. But the rest of this is just fucking racism. And this is just so obviously racist that even other racists are like, bro, calm down.
Son's banjoist Winston Marshall sums it up best. He wrote, "The Greenland issue has exposed two fundamental misconceptions widely held by European elites. Number one, that the rules-based world order ever existed. No, it was a mirage. Only
wait, who is Mr.
for American might and to keep money."
Wait, who is Mr. Winston? Who is Mr. Winston Marshall? Like, who is this guy?
To keep Europe afloat. Number two, America is causing turbulence and threatening world stability. No, writes Marshall. America is in a Thucydides trap. The threat to the world is China, and the U.S. is acting in response.
Thucydides, oh, like he's like one of those guys. Oh, I'm surprised whoever the fuck that is didn't have a statue in his profile picture. That's who that guy is. There's a statue profile picture guy without the statue. Up next, so this is out of Miami Beach, which is a different city than Miami. It's just called Miami Beach. Anyway, homegirl criticized the mayor on a Facebook post in Miami Beach, and well, here's what happens when you criticize the mayor of Miami Beach. I guess they send a fucking detective.
Make sure to make sure it's you. We're not sure.
Okay.
Is that a Facebook? Is that your account?
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present.
Fuck yeah, lady. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. There's Shut the Fuck Up Friday is the right. That's correct. That is correct. You get your abs. Fuck yeah. You get them, homegirl.
Oh, I really don't know how to answer that question either.
Well, like I said, you're not going to
This is freedom of speech. This is America, right?
And
Veteran.
And I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
So
All
we're
right.
just trying to see if it's you, because if we're not talking to the right person, we want to go see who the right person
Okay,
is.
how can I help you?
So pretty much it's just a statement that was...
Wait, if they don't have a lawyer, now that you've told them you're not talking to them without a lawyer, lady, tell them to leave. Be like, I think you should leave now, actually.
Made as far as,
verbatim, it says the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leaves the room when they vote and on related matters. Wants you to know that you are all welcome. Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago.
So you don't know if it was you?
I'm not going to answer whether that's me or not.
Okay.
The concerning part.
Hell yeah. She's like, get my lawyer. I'm not talking to you at all without a lawyer. She's like, this is so clear. She's like, this is the First Amendment. I can say that shit. Like Facebook could ban her account for it, but that's like all that could happen, right? Like, and she didn't even say anything. She's just like, here's the positions you've taken. I don't like you. Like, from what they were reading, right? She's like, this is coming, like, he was probably posting some froggy shit about how all lives matter, or we got to fucking protect the sanctity of life, whatever. And she probably posted something like, you could hear, oh, but you think that all the Palestinians should be killed. Where's that fucking, what happened here?
And not concerning for the person who's posting it. What we're just trying to prevent is somebody else getting agitated or agreeing with the statement. We're not saying it's true.
We're trying to prevent somebody from agreeing with the statement. This is why people say all cops are bastards, right? Because like these cops they're being nice. They probably don't even think they should be there. But shouldn't the police department tell the mayor that I'm not doing this? Like, if the police department was even like slightly good, they'd be like, I'm not doing that. She posted something you don't like on Facebook. You go to her house yourself, asshole. This is why all cops are bastards, right?
Understood.
That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians, that can probably incite somebody to do something radical. That's why we're here to talk about. And we want to...
No, you're not the fucking radical speech police.
your side of it.
Lady, tell him to leave. Be like, get out of here. Lady, just tell him to leave. Be like, do you have a warrant for my arrest? Do you have a search warrant? Get out of here.
That posted that I would think to refrain from posting things like that because that could get something.
I appreciate your concern. I appreciate you coming.
Oh man, we didn't see the end of it. Oh man, I appreciate your concern. I don't appreciate your concern. Leave her the fuck alone. Fuck the police. You see this? We should show that on repeat to all these dumb shit libs on fucking Blue Sky that are like, oh, in Minneapolis, the police should just stop the goon squad. I'm like, dude, the police are showing up at people's houses in this country because they fucking criticize the mayor. You think the police going to come out and fucking stop the goon squad? You dumb fuck. And our last one, we're going to go check out, this guy's name is, I forget this guy's name, Tom, what's his name here? Tom Dokupil, whatever his name is, man, he's just doing a bang up job over there at fucking CBS Evening News. He went and talked to some steel workers and he's like, hey, we should trade jobs because my job is so much more difficult than yours. Like, dude, you're a mouthpiece for Barry Weiss.
America, the end of our second week live from America. What a privilege it's been to hear directly from so many of you, to hear what matters in your life as we reported on the ground on immigration, opioids, inequality, and so much more. And we put some of your big questions in front of this country's biggest leaders, mayors, governors, senators, even the President of the United States himself. Look for us again next month out somewhere in the country. And
come to Oakland,
New York. But good night for now. I'm going to talk to these steel workers. You want to trade jobs? This one's not as easy as it looks. I've been learning that. Thanks for the hospitality, guys. I really appreciate it, man.
Those guys are probably fine. If those are union guys, they don't want your job. I mean, your job's easier than theirs, sure, but if those are union guys, they don't want your job. They don't want to fucking go on TV and fucking make shit up and lie and hold water for fucking Barry Weiss. Yeah, they just want to go to work and not be patronized by fucking rich assholes like you. Anyway, friends, this is a little shorter than usual. It's supposed to be an hour. We did an hour 40. Lately, this is shorter than a down ballot, I think. Anyway, if you're listening on the podcast, thanks for listening to the show there. Check the live show out sometime. That'll be twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. We're live, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, and sometimes Saturday. Also Tuesday morning, I guess. Anyway, I don't know. Just go fucking join the Discord, discord.me/Echoplex. If you're out there and you want to support this project, you can support it at patreon.com/Echoplex or at eplex.store. And you get the red light portion of this show as well as the red light portion of Down Ballot sent to you the day after we record. And people on Twitch, if you are on Twitch, you know how the monetization system here works. I'm going to change the color of the lights in the room, change the content of my beverage. We're going to go into red light. For red light, we have we're going to start out with Tucker talking about the Great Replacement. Then we got some little Nikki Fuentes talking about state violence. We found a new right-wing podcast that we're going to maybe keep an eye on. And we got 2 clips that you can smell, and then I have some late additions for if we go long. This right here, friends and enemies, everybody. This is Boomers by Periscope, and I'll see you in just a few minutes.